So from 2016 to 2017, I got 3 DUIs.
Okay.
And where I live, I had to serve time for my third conviction. So I am a convicted felon.
Okay.
So it has really impacted me like in a multitude of ways. So my years of schooling, having proper and well-paying steady employment, and now the way I even show up to be in relationships. So when I share the sensitive information, I've often been rejected. It feels like I am constantly interviewing for a job that I'll never get. Kind of like when you're like up to bat and then your coach just benches you. And I have really, really come a long way in these 8 years. How can I have my past no longer, I can't say no longer dictate my future, because it will forever dictate my future. But I just feel like I'm constantly rejected by so many people, future potential employers, now even relationships. Sometimes I even find myself like, I don't know, like I feel like I've been craving companionship for so long that maybe I should hold out for another month or two before I just even lay it on thick with my past. And before you ask me any questions about why I don't like myself or why can't I forgive myself, I really, really have. I have grace and I really have a lot of love for myself.
I wasn't even going to ask you that one, but I'm glad that you've forgiven yourself. That's awesome. Are you sober now?
I'm coming up on 8 years sober in August.
Amazing. How often do you tell that story?
When I'm in AA, when I feel when I feel like that good comfort and vulnerability with someone else, that I can be vulnerable, I'll share it with them. Only very few close family members and friends know. It's not something that I like to talk about, but sometimes when I meet someone and I know they're struggling through something, I'll share about my past.
But you walk around not with the 8 years of sobriety, with the 8 years of victories, with the 8 Super Bowl championships you've won. You walk around with the 3 you didn't win.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I mean, I was a teacher, John. I have a bachelor's degree. I can't use that anymore.
That's not true. That's not true. In certain contexts, that is factual. But that's not totally true.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lead with, I do recognize you have to check a box that says, are you a convicted felon?
Mm-hmm.
But if you lead a conversation with, I've been sober for almost a decade, and I was very ill. Made some bad choices a decade ago. I'm going to tell you right now, if people are holding me accountable for stuff I did a decade ago, I don't want to work for you. Right? And I would tell you, if people don't want, I can't think of somebody that's in a better position to compassionately and empathetically sit with young people than you.
I say that to myself all the time. Like, the bad kids love me.
I know, but you say that to yourself, but you don't walk through the world that way. Because as much as you say you've forgiven yourself, you haven't.
I feel like my community and where I'm from, they've really held it as a taboo. I grew up in a conservative Muslim home.
Okay.
So it's something, like I had to lie about where I was going during that time. I lied and I said I went to Africa to teach for
Let me back out of that. Let's back out of that. We're going to be done with the offloading of responsibility.
All right, I like that. Offloading responsibility.
I chose to lie to my family and community and tell them I went to Africa.
All right.
Because I chose to be imprisoned by a story for the next decade, then deal with their ostracization back in 2017.
Wow.
Let's be honest.
All right.
Is that fair?
That's so fair.
You chose prison over possible excommunication. Fair, right? Fair.
Yeah.
But this prison is locked on the inside out.
Yeah.
I mean, the lock's on the inside. If they do not want to be in your life because of choices you made when you were struggling, and let's be honest, I always want to reiterate on the show, if you get 3 DUIs in a row, A, you must be taken off the road, correct? You know that, right?
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
if you get 3 DUIs in a row, then you've got demons that you are desperately trying to drown out, which tells me with great compassion, that's a hurting person there.
Yeah.
And so, if your community a decade later won't welcome you back in with open arms, then I am going to, as the great Jay-Z once said, brush my shoulders off. And it's my job now to unlock my prison from the inside out and go find a community that will celebrate the decade of sobriety and going to war with myself that I've endured. And that, my sister, is forgiveness.
Now, when do I share? I've reconnected with someone in my past, and they brought up a very triggering question. Is there anything about your past that's gonna impact our future? How do I begin? Because I almost want to say, bro, it's Google. Look up my first and last name, and if you have any questions, come back to me.
What kind of dating question? I don't know. I don't date anymore, so maybe that's a popular question.
I haven't had a relationship since 2016. So
why?
I don't know.
Why have you not?
Because I was at a place where I didn't even want to date myself.
Okay. That's a I don't know.
I didn't have my stuff together.
Fair.
Coming out is hard.
Yeah.
And not just reintegration to society. It's what do you do for a living? You're a teacher? I'm like, no, not a teacher anymore. So you work at, a local restaurant? Yeah, I look at it. It's just a lot of questions that I just felt like, you're not Barbara Walters. Why am I feeling like this is an interview on 60 Minutes or whatever? It's annoying.
Let's flip that whole thing around. Why have you given the proverbial Barbara Walters questions? You are taking the questions people ask and the answers you would give if you were honest, and you are judging yourself and taking your judgments and putting them in their heads.
All right.
And maybe they are going to say judgmental things, and then great, they're opting out. Or back in 2018, they were right. Oh my gosh, you did all this stuff and you can't even go in a classroom anymore. They should take you out of a classroom. And they were right. They should take you out of that classroom. And after a decade of kicking butt, for you to go meet with an HR director of a small school district, and it's not going to be possibly in Dayton in the big city, but hey, I'm just coming clean. 10 years ago, I was a mess. Here's my 10-year, my 7-year, my 8-year coin. Boom. I'm sober. Mm-hmm. I worked a plan. I'm in an amazing place. I have a graduate degree. I want to be a teacher again. What's my path back?
Well, I went back into teaching for 2 school years.
Okay.
And it was in my best interest to not go back again. It was a very small school, as you said. I had that courageous conversation with, the director and whatnot. But I just felt like I felt like I was getting at a place where it was going to compromise my sobriety.
Okay.
So I left teaching again. I never wanted to be a teacher,
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Can I
you're fine.
Can I high five you?
I never wanted to be a teacher. Thank you. Yeah.
Like you saw yourself going down a path again and you walked back. That's awesome. So I guess I'm confused.
I didn't want to be a teacher when I was 18 years old. It was something that was appropriate for a young girl. You either went into nursing or healthcare or education.
Okay, so what do you want to do now? How old are you?
I am 38 and a half-ish.
All right, good. My mother went back to college at the age of 42. So
yeah, I love that story.
You haven't even started. You're 4 years ahead of her. What do you want to do?
I've always wanted to go into business and marketing.
What do you want to sell?
I love startup companies. I like being a part of something brand new.
None of that is a thing. What do you want to sell? Do you like it when you go get your hair done? Do you like it when you get a good cup of coffee? Do you like it when you open a new box of shoes? Like, what do you want to sell to somebody to bring joy or light or help or support to their day?
I guess I never thought about products and items. I thought about just working for a company.
I know, but here's the problem with that. And by the way,
I've constantly been told what to do my entire life.
I know. But listen,
I've never really just had like a free.
That's it.
Like be Aladdin and do whatever I want.
That's why I'm trying to free you from it. The problem with the modern American workforce is that everybody wants to show up to a job and that job give me something. Instead of, I want to be a part of a group, a company, a small business, a solopreneurship. I want to be about helping a customer with X. Get therapy, get a roof, get your plumbing fixed, get new shoes, get $1 million car. I don't care what the thing is. But if you go to a company to solve you, it will fail every time. If you go to a company to say, I'm giving all of myself as a part of this team so that we can help X, Y, or Z, now you're talking about purpose. And so what you're looking to do, you're running around, your community has abandoned you, your romantic relationships, you have created this world where you don't think you can be successful there. And you have created all these stories about yourself, and now you're putting all of your potential future on some company. You don't even care what they do, what they sell, anything that's going to turn all your light switches on. And that doesn't exist. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
So I want you to ask, well, who do I want to go help? Do I want to help pet owners? Do I want to help I don't like people who's got flat tires? I don't care what it is. And then you show up to a place and you begin putting all of you into it. Not the you that thinks you're broken down and unworthy because 10 years ago you were sick and you made some bad choices 10 years ago. But the 8 Super Bowl champion years later, you.
I wouldn't say 8. I would say like a great 3-year Tom Brady action.
Whatever you want to say.
5 years after was pretty rough.
It was rough. You got 8 years of sobriety. I'm counting it. But you sell it however you want to sell it.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you haven't been sober for 8 years, then don't go around with that story either. If it's only been 3, great. Say 3.
Oh, no. I'm just saying I'm thinking about just the entire time that I've been out.
Okay.
And what I've been doing.
You have to decide, I'm not going to judge me as harshly as my community has judged me.
All right.
And you have to decide, I'm not going to judge me as harshly as knuckleheaded people. I did not have 3 DUIs. I've never got a DUI. I have things from my past 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 30 years ago that I'm not proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what forgiveness is about. And that's what making amends is about. And that's what going to do the next right thing is about.
So when do I share it? And is it just how I share it? I'm like, yo, listen, I messed up. It is what it is. I can't say it is what it is, but
there's not a date or time. If your body tells you this person's not safe, then don't go on a second date. And also, don't be that weirdo who's like, hi, my name is Samantha. One time don't be that person either.
No, the recovery talks is what I had the first few months right after I came out. I'm in recovery. And everyone would be like, ugh, what's that?
And if that's the case, that's not your person. But you can also say that 10 years ago, man, I had a rough go. 20 years ago, I had a really rough go. Oh, yeah? Tell me about dude, I went to jail one time. What?
Oh, God. I don't want to talk about that. It's horrible.
I know, but it's a part of your life. And here's the thing. I think people are going to distance themselves from you. They're going to flinch from you because you haven't fully metabolized what happened. And if you put it on the table with confidence as this is in my past and this is not a part of my future, people will lean into that. Occasionally they won't, and so be it. Forget them. I'm going to hook you up on my buddy Ken Coleman's book. He has a book called Find the Work You're Wired to Do. It's got a career assessment in it. I want you to take that career assessment And then I want you to tenaciously start knocking on doors, having coffee with people, applying for jobs, and just like you did with that small school district, be honest and say, here I am. And yes, I got a pass, but dude, I've been 8 years sober, and I will be the best employee you have. I'm going to start, you're going to go after it. I'm going to stop asking my job to solve all my world's problems, and instead, I'm going to bring myself fully to the service of helping somebody with a thing, a customer at the end, a person at the end, with support and help and love. And then it's going to be game on.